Another early stalwart was Paddy Cunningham, who explained the difficulties for the club in those early days.
Well, right from that time, in that first team, they tried to keep it going here. It's difficult to keep it going, because you had a lot of opposition in those days with cricket teams and such things as that. The young fellas, you know, it's difficult just to get teams lined up all the time.
Had you many cricket teams in the area that time?
Well, now, locally here you had, in the local area here you had 5 or 6. 5 or 6 cricket teams.
And that was proving difficult to keep Gaelic sport going at that time?
It was. Like they seemed to, there was a lot of encouragement for the young fellas to go to the cricket now.
Yes.
Well, we always looked on it as a garrison game and tried to keep the football going.
Yes.
It was difficult enough, but we had some of those lads dropped out of it and some of them stayed on. And in 1930, I reckon around about 1936, we formed a minor team. Had enough young fellas still stayed on to form a minor team, and with some help from the other end of the parish in Ballykindler. A couple of boys I can remember very well played on that minor team. It was Jerry Doherty and Joe Redmond. And Jerry Doherty went on later on to play for Down in the first All-Ireland Junior that they won. So that minor team was very successful then, but then the next year then they were too old to play minor then. And the club wasn't able to carry on any longer then.
He was born in 1916 and in the late 20s he was playing his football. Dundrum, Ballybannon, Ballykindler. Those were the teams that he sort of moved around from, just whichever one.
Did he ever tell you about those early days?
Oh, he did indeed, and he had various and long and many stories. My father was a great Gael, and then when his football career ended, he took to refereeing, and he had even better stories to tell about the refereeing. And
can you remember?
I do remember some of those. I remember a famous day in Drummondess when a decision went the wrong way, and I have a never lost in memory of my father being carried airborne towards the river to put him in the river, because that's what they did with the referee, but they didn't like the decision. But they relented before they got to the water's edge, and sense prevailed, and he was spared the ducking.
Was he any good as a swimmer, do you think?
He probably would have survived okay, but he was a brave man, and he was always outspoken, always stood his ground, but he was fair, and I think he was well enough respected in the circles.
Well, around 1943, 44, we got a lot of local lads again to try and get going again. Well, we didn't have a field then as such. That field then had been ploughed up that had played on.
Yes.
Pamphlet, it wasn't available. So
where did we play then?
Hugh McCormick lived down the road here, and he had a fairly flat field. It was difficult to get a flat field. There's plenty of hills around here.
Yes.
And Hugh gave us his field to play in. But the league already had been started then, and with the help of some outside boys from Newcastle, not Peter Evie, that played on the county team of those following years, and Seamus McBennett, Mickey Soy, who's present in Newcastle at the moment now. Soy's bookmaker people.
Yes.
And a few others then. We got a team entered in the county championship, junior championship, and it done rather well, and we got to the final of it. And the final was played in Downpatrick, out at the Flying Horse, and the team who had to play that day was Caliph. But they were getting a big aerodrome built down there at the time, and a lot of Southern players there. They would nearly beat the Down team, never mind us. That was the end of us in the junior championship.
Thomas McShane, a Crossmaglen man, moved to the village in the late 40s and helped to refocus and restructure Dundrum's search for footballing stability.
Prior to May 1951, Sharon Flynn and myself were playing football for Ansborough. And in those days we had to push a bike to Castlewellan for our home matches. So one wet afternoon, by complete accident, Pat McLean, Lord Reston, and myself met in Eddie Flynn's shop since deceased. And we started talking about maybe we should think of starting a team in Dundrum. So it was more or less fostered in Flynn's shop. So at that stage there was a couple of boys here, Mick Grant, Lord Reston, since deceased, and Colin Glavin were playing for Ballykindler. So we eventually got their transfers through and we started a team on the 12th of May 1951 with Mr. Glavin as chairman. Now I think in hindsight we made a mistake in the type of team we had from the point. We couldn't form a team with our own players, so we took them from far and near and was known as the Cosmopolitan team. Now why I say it was a mistake, with that particular season we won the East Down League, but the following year when other teams started up, namely Brainsford, now it was then known as Newcastle, we lost 6 players to Newcastle and that reduced our source very badly, and for a few years we were in the Dundrums.
During that time he would say it was hard football. No question asked, you went for the ball, you went for the ball. And in fact, actually, he lost his front teeth playing football. He went in to separate 2 fellas that were fighting, and the opposite player hit him. And my father he didn't retaliate, didn't do anything. He just looked at the fella and told him, he says, I thought you were a bigger man than that. And apparently that just gutted him. It just floored the player because he realised what he had done was totally wrong. And that's how my father ended up with his false teeth. But he would also say during that time, Paddy Ward, who I think were butchers we would have called him. Butcher was, again, very hard man, but a very fair. If he would have stood up and looked after the young players on the team, like my cousin there, Henry Flynn, and it was always relayed to me then in the case again where Henry was taken out by a much older player, because Henry would have been playing for Dundrum at that age, maybe 16, 17 as well of age, and the player took him out, but the next ball that this player went for, Butcher took him straight out of it.
I just can go back to my father's mother and father and the yard in Dundrum, which was Mary Flynn's, and it was a farm. There was a little yard there that they kept maybe 20 cows and milked maybe 13 cows, and they had a pub as well. And I suppose that was the time when in Dundrum the harbour was in full flight and boats were coming in. They were coming in with timber and they were going out with potatoes, and the trains would at that particular time would have been up and down the main street, really where the football field is, the old railway line where Dundrum GAA pitch is at this moment in time. I can remember very well even at the quay, the gates of the quay closing for the trains to pass through, and I remember the old station functioning. I remember actually going by train to Downpatrick.